Alright everyone, today we're going to jump back into the Bitcoin price action as well as the altcoin market because we were seeing something very, very exciting that we had been talking about. And I would say at this point, get ready for altcoin season. We're already starting to see a lot of plays doing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% days as we kick off going into the weekend. But as always, maybe don't expect too much these next 2 days, but we'll see. Last weekend and week was really super boring, so maybe we do have a low volume, high volatility weekend here to come. But let's go ahead and talk about the Bitcoin price action to start, and then we'll talk about those altcoins later on in the video. First things first, Bitcoin did not swing fail the highs. These are some bullish closes over here on the chart. You jump in here to the 4-hour time frame, multiple 4-hour candle closes above these previous highs. This is high confirmation, in my opinion, that we are in fact going to all-time highs right now. Now, is it going to be a move that just goes straight up to it? No, I do expect corrections along the way. I do expect this to actually get swept potentially. As we know, when Bitcoin likes to get bullish, it likes to get impulsive. It doesn't like to retrace. So I'm not throwing that out of the equation at all. But just based off TA, just based on what the charts are saying, I would expect potentially a bit of a rejection here to then go ahead, grab a lower, and then head on up for all-time highs. Something like this makes the most sense on the charts right now, but we'll see if that does actually play out. Like I said, when Bitcoin likes to get impulsive, it doesn't really care about your TA. It will just run to the highs, run to wherever it's going, and when it stops running, that might be the actual top for it. So if it does run all the way up here and then have a pullback, maybe that isn't a bullish pullback, and that's just where it falls down. So we'll have to take that day by day. Is it going to play out exactly like that? Probably not. As you guys know, my base case is that we come up here, have a bit of distribution, and then that's where your top comes in around $80,000. But of course, like I said, we just got to take this stuff day by day. The charts are always changing, and you can't always predict charts. But what is pretty obvious right now that we have is continuous higher lows and higher highs. We have full-on bullish momentum right now. There's really nothing to say this is going to slow down anytime soon. This is a very healthy move up. You can see it's not just these big green vectors within here. Right, if I turn on my vector candles, actually, now you can see these are 2 vectors within here, but we've already retraced this vector, retraced that one a little bit, and now this is a very healthy move on up, telling me that we could have the momentum to actually get above volume here and then start, sending to all-time highs after that. Could be in honey badger mode for Bitcoin, and I would not fade this price action. But just based on the levels, let's talk about that. Resistance is 66,800. Liquidity is 66,900. This big box is a big volume node. So just like we sat within this volume node last weekend, don't be surprised if we just sit within here for the next coming days. If we do pull back after rejecting this, then you're looking to find support at around 62,300. Big volume level there, and then big liquidity level just below that. So a sweep of this getting back above volume, that's what makes the most amount of sense for me just on a charting perspective. But not really too much else to say. Very bullish price action, just stuck in between 2 big volume ranges. Not really the place you want to be trading, in my opinion, unless we do get a swing failure over the highs. Maybe you could take a short if we do come down to the lows of this range and swing fail these lows. Maybe you could take a long, but of course only leverage trade if you know what you're doing. We go over here to trading light. You can see continual bullish order flow. We talked about the order flow flip here, and you can see this is continuing to play out. CVD is starting to trend up after going down throughout this entire range. Open interest is still continuing up. That is bullish momentum to the upside. So order flow is still looking pretty good. We are seeing open interest start to drop though. So definitely getting into ranges where shorts are getting squeezed. So the more shorts get squeezed, the more potential we do have for a pullback, right? Bitcoin likes to hunt liquidity, and once that liquidity is grabbed, when that OI is reset, then you could get a potential standstill because you do need buyers to continuously buy up price to the level. You can't just squeeze shorts anymore, but we are seeing a lot of bullish momentum. So like I said, just kind of in the middle of a range, but I wouldn't fade Bitcoin right now. Now let's jump into why I think altcoin season has already started. We look at Ethereum over Bitcoin, and this actually got below the lows. We had a deviation to the downside. I thought this was originally going to hold, but a lot of times these charts like to do a bit of a fake out, and you can see we lost the lows, but then deviated, reclaimed back above, and are now back testing this as support. This definitely is a very bullish structure, signaling the start of Ethereum outperforming Bitcoin, which is of course going to be a big signal for the altcoin season starting to kick off here. We also look at Bitcoin dominance, and a very similar thing here, just inverted, because this obviously we want to be bearish for the altcoin market. You can see played out exactly how we wanted it to, right? You have your distribution range here, deviation to the upside, deviated back in, and now back testing this as resistance. This is pretty pixel perfect as what we wanted to signal that altcoin season was about to start. And I would say at this point it's pretty confirmed that we do have that starting to kick off here, and Bitcoin dominance could actually be topped on the higher term time frames, and we could see this roll all the way back over to the range lows, at least below 50%. And with what we're already seeing, we're probably going to see some epic gains in the market right now. I'm talking 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 X's. Maybe not across the board, but definitely throughout the market, right? It'll be very specific plays this time. I don't think everything's going to go to the moon like 2020, but a lot of stuff will. So if you can do your own research, if you can figure out what has good fundamentals, we should have some real exciting times ahead of us when it comes to the altcoin market. I love to see this structure playing out. Perfect deviation of the highs, back test, back within the range. Our next target for this is going to be seeing if we can make lower lows. As soon as we can confirm a lower low, then it will be very obvious that altcoin season is about to kick off. And I think that's really, really exciting. We go to total 3. We're above both of these volume levels now. Let's jump in here to shorter term time frames. You can see we're actually back testing this top side value area low from 2020. So if we can actually hold this as support, if we can make a higher high, then that would be clear confirmation. Our next target is going to be all the way up at value area high, sitting at around $1 trillion market cap, potentially point of control. So we'll watch this carefully, but yeah, I think total 3 is about to go on a big run here, similar to how we did back in 2020, where you had this massive parabolic move within the span of a couple months. This stuff happens fast, and I think we're reaching the point where it is going to happen. So yeah, as you can tell, I'm very bullish on the charts right now, but definitely don't be trading this range unless you know what you're doing. I expect a bit of a pullback just based on what the charts are saying, but overall, even with a pullback, I expect Bitcoin dominance to continue down and for the altcoins to continue up into our last and biggest phase of the cycle, also known as your altcoin season. But if you do have any questions about anything I talked about, or just want to join the community for this channel, link to my Discord is in the description down below. Also down below is a VIP Discord that is specifically for leverage trading. If you want to actually learn how to do that stuff yourself, managing risks properly, etc., go ahead, check out that link to see if it's worth your money or not. It is 25% off right now. It is not a signals group, by the way. And then also down there are a bunch of exchange partners that all offer their own perks and benefits and exclusive rewards and bonuses to those of you that use my referral links to sign up. So don't miss out on that. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.